the world on fire.
Please welcome Tom Montgomery.
I'm here, and your white privilege isn't going to save you tonight, okay, guys?
Desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim.
Any government is to monopolize as much violence as possible in order for it to inflict it on as many citizens as possible.
I've been on this like weird anarchist arc for a few months now. This is playing by their rules, exactly how they are.
Me. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame.
You're watching the Dog and Chicken Show. Like, share, subscribe.
That's right. It's time for the Dog and Chicken Show.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 153 of the Dog and Chicken Show. I, of course, am your revolutionary wrestling podcast champion, the people's champion, if you will, your big fucking emperor who's trying to help RWP build back better. In the meantime, welcome to the most independent, inclusive, iconic, impeccable, immaculate, illuminating, illustrious, intense podcast you will ever witness. It's going to be a fun show. But without any further ado, my partner in crime, your co-host, Tony.
Yep, me. You know me, Tony fucking G, Tony the Rod 2.0 on TikTok, the quadruple distilled and non-chill filtered, and soon to be a 14-time RWP champion. And I am doing just fucking fantastic, fellas. And of course, joining us down below, holding the weight of the world on his shoulders, the one, the only.
One and only, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, the lord of the Scottish Highlands, and one damn handsome man, if I do say so myself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE. Yes, Phil KOE 2024, Joe Rogan for press secretary. Yes. Be sure to remember that your king of extreme is in fact running for president of the United States of America in 2024. Do the right thing, vote extreme, but before you do that, so you can get in on the ground floor of this, head on over to KOE Nation on YouTube, KOE Nation on Twitch, KOE Nation on TikTok, so you can keep up with all your KOE content. And also, you are looking at the future Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion right here, Phil KOE, bringing that belt back home to Nebraska. Yes, folks, I even got a King of the Hill reference in there. I mean, that's A+. So, gentlemen, it's been just such a slow news week, and we'll get into all that. But before we do, gents, what are you drinking? Thank you, Melanie.
Go ahead, Chicken. Go
Traitor.
ahead.
You traitor. Right now, I'm just drinking a mix. I think I had, shit, I don't even know. I think it was Bullet upstairs. I did a quick drink. I just woke up from a nap, folks. So, like, I literally just threw on a jacket, like threw some water in my hair and ran downstairs and made a drink. I don't know. Something up here. I'm going to grab something from up here in just a little bit, and we're going to go from there.
Phil, what are you drinking?
Oh, you bastard. Because I was bragging to Tony right before the show. It's like, T, I was over at my old man's house, just took a quick little nap in a massagey chair even. He's like, you bastard, gin shot now. So let me get into the drawer that's got this god-awful gasoline in it.
Hey, folks, you know how you can give gin shots to Phil or the
That is a great thing to know.
If you're on Facebook, if you realize tonight on Facebook, we do not have stars because I don't have time to game every week. So what you can do, though, for $5 a month on every single show, you get to not only do you get a freebie shot, beer, drink, or make somebody sing a song, but we reset that clock once an hour.
Oh.
You potentially 4 to 5 shows a month for $5. You don't have to fucking worry about stars. You got a chance for 2 to 3 times a show.
Yeah.
Hit us.
It's a hostile takeover the show.
Instead of spending $5 for 500 stars every time you want to make somebody to drink or do something stupid, all you got to do is subscribe once for $5 a month, and you get once, twice, 3 times a show and 4 shows a month. This is ridiculously a much better bargain, I promise.
And if you're
now,
not heading over to Facebook to sub,
I was about to say,
I don't
then
know.
you at least better be subscribing on YouTube. My God.
Yeah.
But normally I've got a Irish Gaelic toast, but I'm going to do it a little bit different this week, and this is just off the top of my head, so let's see if it actually works. To stars, to subbing, and to singing. If you're going to send in stars to make somebody drink, well, I hope it's chicken. If you're going to sub to make somebody take a shot of gin, well, I hope it's Tony. And if you're going to send in stars or subs to make somebody start singing, God damn it, better be, I hope it's me.
How was it? Is it good?
It's the most enjoyable part of Phil's night.
Does it burn?
Like imagine if like somebody found a way to distill their like third like bitter divorce, and they were able to distill that into a bottle and then have you drink it. And like imagine it's one with like really like nasty child custody battle and all that shit. Like, yeah, that's how that fucking tastes.
All right, I'm glad.
That's a
ringing
good
endorsement.
That's a really good one. That's what that means.
But otherwise, I'm drinking Woodford Reserve wine, beer, and spirits mixed with Coke, and this is the only glass I got left in the mill from my wine. You guys remember my really heavy wine snob phase?
Yes.
Yeah. So I got a wine glass
Did
left
he ever
over
get
here
out
from
of that phase?
No. It's just now I'm aging my bottles. So like in a couple of years, I'll get right back into it. Don't worry.
Silk. Shit.
Yeah. Now, actually, in all reality, if I were going to roast you, chicken, I wouldn't say it's a silk. You look like you're like a tracksuit, like a Russian, like I'm the coach. I'm Khabib Nurmagomedov's coach. Yes, go for double leg, Khabib. Like,
I just need some like white pinstripes on here, and I can just be like, I'm from Boston. You park your card in Harvard Yard,
or your Vince Vaughn.
You look like you're very disappointed in your national military as its performance of late.
Well,
I've got myself some.
I don't think that necessarily puts you into a region. Like,
no, I'm sorry, tracksuits, Ruski.
All right, Tony, what
That's
are you
what
drinking?
I love about this war. We get to like pull out the old 1980s insults, the Ruskis. Hey, and by the way, I'm just curious, Tony, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm currently enjoying a nice big glass of chicken blowing Phil. Next, I was going to get into a shot of chicken reaching around Phil.
Your cup runneth over then.
Yeah. No, I've got some old Granddad Bonded I'm starting out with, and then I do have a shot glass ready for just in case, and I've also got a beer for just in case, and I don't know. I might do a little blending. Might get a little crazy, so we'll see. But with that note, we do have a bit of a grab bag tonight. We do have some big stories, and, it could get a little hectic. And if you want to make sure that it gets a little hectic, I think the only way you can do that and ensure that it gets a little hectic, as we mentioned before, just go subscribe on Facebook. You automatically get to make one of us drink. It's that simple. And it's $5. And you get it 2-3 times a show, folks. Very simple.
So
you're missing
that's
out.
like the best deal in the history of ever.
Trump couldn't make this deal, folks. Only the Dog and Chicken Show.
Yep.
Sheesh.
And if he did, he would get impeached over it. So.
Oh, absolutely.
No, if he did, he would actually still be the president of the United States.
Yeah, true.
If only he had subscribed. Like, so folks, now, guys, call me crazy. Call me crazy. I just think this is going to be the best episode ever, honestly. I mean, we're actually at the height of societal evolution right here at Big Buck and Empire. So
we're not even 10 minutes in yet, Phil. That's a bold assumption to make.
Oh, no, I feel it. I can feel it. And folks, you at home, you can feel it too. You know it.
Cheers.
So,
Phil,
with
you got
that
high
being-
hopes. You got high hopes for me after a nap. I'm still trying to get
High
that
He's
thought.
got high hopes. He's
Sky
got
hopes.
high hopes.
So,
All
Okay,
right.
first story. Let's break it open. Break the ice.
Yeah,
with
please,
something
God,
kinda-
do.
Let's break the ice with something kind of silly and fun, but what the fuck all at the same time.
I don't know.
It's now illegal for anyone under 21 to buy whipped cream chargers in New York, official says. It's to stop teens from inhaling nitrous oxide.
We did it.
The only way that I'm
amazing.
not going to shit on this is if somebody had the actual like forethought to call it the Cruel Whip Act.
Oh my god.
Wow.
If they would have done it, it's like, okay, I'm sorry. I like, all right. You're dumb as shit, but we have to vote for this. For the 2022 Cruel Whip Act. like, yes,
This is-
Cool Whip is killing our children. And it looks like that was actually the justification they were
Yeah.
using,
I
wasn't it?
get it, but Jesus, like this isn't
Yeah,
a fucking jewel pen or a
flipping.
goddamn vape box or even a pack of Marlboro Reds, for fuck's sakes. It's a goddamn pumpkin pie topping. Come on. I know what you can do with it, but still.
Whip it.
Hey, New
Whip
York.
it. Whip it good.
I got a suggestion. Like, I don't know how many kids died last year from whippets, but I know how many old people died in your state from COVID.
I'm gonna Google it.
Maybe
I was about to say,
we
somebody
should,
whip it, like Google how many whippet deaths there's actually been. Like, even if we could stretch it into 10 years, I don't know how far we got to get to triple
Yeah.
digits here, but yeah, like no,
I
it's the
feel
thing
like
that
there's
you-
higher priorities in New York than whippets.
no what
There
we
should
got to
be.
remember, like in New
God
York.
damn, these kids getting high. It said 1 out of 5 kids has tried whippets. Oh, God damn, this 20% of kids, like, you know what? Another
Like, I wonder
20% are
if they realize
trans,
that-
another 20% are smoking pot, another 20% are drinking alcohol, and then the last 20% aren't doing nothing. So, like, which other ones are we going to ban from here on out?
Oh my god.
Well,
Okay, so the first thing that pops up when I type into Google, how many people died from whippets? While the annual rate of death has remained stable at 36 people a year, what is striking is the rise in the average age of fatalities from 28 years old in 2001 to 46 in 2020. The majority, 78%
the Gen
of
Xers
those
are getting
are
older.
male.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's the same dude.
Yeah, it's the same dude who's doing whippets in high school.
It's the same thing.
Now, the thing that like really throws me off is it's been what that's coming
Yeah.
soon. That's coming soon.
God, I hope.
But like to me,
There's
it's
no
like
benefit to Tide Pod eating. None. Doesn't even get you
the
high.
fact that we kept
Nobody's actually doing
consistent
that.
at 36 deaths. Like how the fuck? Like what kind of fucking Final Destination movie? Fucking The Ring movie?
Yeah.
You got to watch bullshit. Is that 36 people die of whippets every fucking year? Wait, what the fuck? Like that?
I feel like
that
these
almost throws me off
36
a little bit.
people are probably
What kind of
trying
36
pretty-
monkeys fucking conspiracy
No.
is this?
36 people consistently dying from whippets a year, and that's nationwide, not just New York. Those people have to be trying pretty hard. Let's be frank. Like, how many whippets do you have to do before you OD?
Now, this is actually
It's
kind of
got to
funny.
be a
So,
lot.
36 people die a year from whippets. I remember I was on a panel with Ben Burgess, Joe Lewis was on Dylan Burns, and we brought up the point. I brought up the fact that, okay, let's look at some FBI crime statistics. In 2019, do you know how many people died according to what the FBI would classify as white supremacy? 40. And then I went, do you know
More than
how many
whippets.
people? Yeah, 36 died from whippets. 40 died from white supremacy, and that also included the El Paso shooting in
How many of them
Walmart.
were? How many of them were combined?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Is there a crossover here?
There's got to be crossover.
But this is the big kicker, and it was really funny when
Is there
you
a
can
white supremacist who died who did a whippet? Because would that count as both?
Nice. But then I shut the entire panel up by just doing this one thing. It's kind of funny. Like, do you know how many people the FBI could attribute in the United States to Islamic extremism deaths? 0. And everybody on the panel was just silent. And it was just, and I was like, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Everybody's trying to figure out how do I fit that into my politics, so they don't have an actual response for the moment. But so that one I find fascinating, that Whippets consistently has killed
It's almost as bad as white supremacy. Holy shit.
Almost.
Like,
I really wish we would up the age
like,
of
how
white
is it so
supremacy to 21 years old. That's what we need to be doing. Because if it's killing 4 more people per year, we need to up the age of white supremacy to 21. Damn it, New York. What are you waiting for? Why won't you do this? What is the holdup? You're telling me we can't cut the red tape? We can't reach across the aisle to put an age restriction on white supremacy? Trump would have done it. Come on, get with it. New York.
Minor in possession of I don't even know what, but
20,
but so yes,
Tony 2024.
Minor in possession of prejudice, MIPP.
Oh, wow. But the article continues.
Does it?
So it doesn't say a whole lot other than there has been a misinterpretation of the language and intent of the bill. Senator Joseph Adabo said in a press release, "My bill is not intended to prevent people under the age of 21 from buying whipped cream dispensers, but the small individual charger or cartridge inside the whipped cream canister that is the target of this law." Where do you buy those other than from a whipped cream can?
Well,
that's like, hey, I'm not trying to ban carbonated beverages. I'm just, banning the things that they're in.
Well, you can buy. I mean, didn't you already have to be like 18 to buy canned aerosol cans? I don't know. Here, I think you did. Well, some places. So I would assume that'll translate there.
I'm sorry.
And then,
if that's an actual law, we have jumped the shark in laws. You have to be 18 to buy that air.
Well, it's not like we can fucking.
Are you legally fucking permitted to buy that air, you shitheel?
We can't age regulate people shitting in a balloon and putting it in their closet. So, you got to go after the
CO2 canisters. That's what they're after.
I would say yes. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, your paintballing is done. Your whipped cream, not in tub form, is done. You can't dust your computer keyboard anymore. Sorry. Yeah, it's done, folks.
But
you can't enjoy a 90-second high anymore.
New York has pretty much illegalized anything that might even approach the same solar system as dangerous fun. So, just
dangerous, pretty loose term there.
Well, like to be like a go-kart. That's dangerous fun. And like to even have a go-kart anywhere, even on like a side street in New York.
Go-kart deaths are there?
Oh God, here we go. The final correction on the story says an earlier version of the story misstated the nature of the bill. It restricts purchases of whipped cream chargers to those under the age of 21, not the sale of canned whipped cream. So you can still go buy it, but it's
okay. So New York, your whippets are safe for the time being, but you're gonna have to get new whipped cream. It sounds like every time you're wanting some whippets. So.
Yeah, you can't just get the cartridge. Yeah. Oh, Tony got interrupted. Yeah, you can't just buy the CO2 cartridge, but you can still get your quick high off of that first little squirt of whipped cream. So, cheers, folks. Tony's kidding.
Allegedly, not to be construed as sexual medical advice, but yes. Correct. But I think the most important thing you need to keep in mind with this story, folks, is when trouble comes along, you must whip it. When trouble comes along, you must whip it. I was about to say, let me just go ahead and mute Tony's mic there, just as a favor for him and for us. But so, to me, it's just like, what a shock. New York's trying to ban another thing for anybody that's under 21. Now, to me, this is a much wider conversation, actually, if we can just have a moment to think about this. You've got to realize that in the United States, we have the oldest children in the world. According to insurance companies, you're a child till you're 26. And then there's this juxtaposition of 18 to 21. And keep in mind, when you're 18, you're allowed to vote. You're allowed to join the military.
Yep.
And you start paying taxes. But you now, under our current legal regime, you got to be 21 to buy alcohol, buy tobacco, buy a gun in many states. So you'll notice that all the things that service the powers that be, you get that as soon as you're a legal adult. But anything that could potentially be of service to you, well, that has to wait until you're 21.
Hold on there, bucko. Yeah. No fun for you.
They don't sell canisters at Hy-Vee. They sell them at Wicked Smoke. You have to go to Smoke Shop to. And we're both trying to. We're doing the
dancing
door
with each other. Now me and Phil are dancing with each other.
Okay, he's back. All right. We were doing like the trying to unlock the door thing when you're trying to open it.
Yeah.
It's like so.
No, just don't touch the handle. No,
chicken,
I'll do it.
No, chicken, I'll do it.
No,
Okay, chicken,
I'll
you
push
do
the
it.
button.
No,
You're
okay,
outside
fine.
the
I'll
door.
do
I
it.
have to push the
it.
button. Just keep
No,
your
no,
hands
don't.
off.
Okay,
Keep
let
your hands
you
off the door
Push
handle.
the button.
Okay.
Yes. So
Yes, that happened.
that was clear as mud. So, yeah, I think this podcast centered from the Midwest is going to be like, oh yeah, New York, you're totally reasonable for all that. I mean,
Look, I'm
considering
just
even
saying,
after their the
different down here in the sticks, and no pumpkin pies are going to go unwhipped this Thanksgiving. Not in this state, damn it.
golly, gee.
God bless America.
Now, I'll be honest. I always took the Cool Whip from like the little container when I was growing up. I never had the like it was just you scooped it out of the container. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah, I didn't have them fancy aerosol fucking cream.
Tony, you look
pushy
like
thingies.
you're just like you could have more contempt for that. Very like you didn't even have the canister. What the?
No,
fuck
we always
is
had
wrong
the
with you?
tubs. Jesus.
Okay.
No,
Like you just had that.
The tubs are what us poor white people used to buy.
Yeah. No, we would buy the tubs. I mean, the real question here was, and really, frankly, the more important question, regardless of the story, regular or extra thick?
I don't even remember. It's been so long.
I was about to say in the 90s, it was all regular for all us. I don't even think they sent the extra thick to our
probably
grocery
true,
stores.
but now I'm telling you, you got to try a piece with both because it is different. The extra thick, it'll change your life. If you're looking for a little extra more, thickness and a little less fluff, try the red tub. Just saying. Thanksgiving's coming up. This might be a light bulb moment for all of you out there, America.
Could be.
Yes. Thanksgiving's coming up, and be sure that you wash down your meal with a nice, glorious glass of milk.
Well, it's
Regular
September
milk.
1st.
Actual
or
milk.
almond milk, either way. But it's September 1st, so I can only assume that Walmart is probably already packing up their Halloween decorations and putting out the Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a motivation to watch a little later. Tony, we're going to bring up our almond milk, whole milk war a little later after the show tonight when we go live on Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Oh, trust me. Trust me, T.
News to us.
So it's news to us, but it's also an enticement for you to head on over to Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast after the show tonight, because that's going to be where the after party is.
I don't understand what correlation to milk and almond milk there is.
You'll see, T. You'll see.
No,
but anyhow, so moving right along.
You know how we were talking, what was that, last week or the week before? Biden's just hiring 87,000 IRS agents, and they're totally not coming after anybody on this show, listens to this show, or anybody we know. They're only going after rich people. I swear to God, that's
absolutely.
It's sort of like
in the highest of high tax brackets.
Oh, yes. Palpatine now has a new clone army. Surely this will be good for the Republic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In the meantime, how the FDA made a felon out of this Amish farmer. He's behind bars after selling skincare products made from natural ingredients without government approval. Shame. What did that cost this Amish farmer? $300,000 in jail.
Do you know how many barns he's going to have to raise to do this?
I know.
Like, to me, it's one thing I've always kept in mind when legislation's being crafted. I always think, does it let the Amish still be Amish? Because like if your legislation that you're crafting does because the Amish are just kind of just folks off to the side trying to live their life, live their own kind of oddity religion, and they preach nonviolence, they preach peace. So to me, it's like if your legislation doesn't let the Amish be Amish anymore, I think it probably needs to be reconsidered. And this is one of those things where, now granted, guys, when I heard this, it's like, okay, now what was the government agency that charged him again?
It was the FDA.
Okay, Food and Drug Administration. So I'm guessing the USDA has something to do with this. This guy started getting into medicine for livestock, and that is $1 billion industry. So
let me read through and tell you exactly what he is being charged with here. In Bath County, Kentucky, a rural area near Lexington, a judge sentenced a 57-year-old Amish farmer and father of 12 to 6 years in prison for producing herbal skin cream without government's permission. Samuel Garrod formulated homemade skincare products on his family farm, sold them for 2 decades throughout upper Midwest, largely on a word-of-mouth promotion. He claimed that his products could help with poison ivy rashes, psoriasis, headaches, and more, despite the fact that the products were made from benign, natural ingredients like chickweed, rosemary, olive oil, and peppermint. Products intended to treat diseases are considered drugs and must be approved by the Food and Drug Administration and produced in an approved facility.
Only 12 kids, so must have been a slow decade.
I was about to say, so it sounds like the pull-out method never really, that news article never made it to that Amish community.
He's only 57. He's got a good 5-10 years left to knock.
That's true. That is true. He's still very fertile. And look, I will apologize to all of the Amish people watching the show tonight. We're not making fun of you.
All of you.
That's the classic Dave Attell joke. It's like, you can always make fun of the Amish. They're never going to find out. They're out of the loop. I remember one time I saw him in a special and he dropped that joke. He's like, gosh, that joke is so old it can vote now.
Yeah. Here's one thing the judge said in handing down the harsh sentence to the farmer. Judge Reeves told the Amish farmer that he, in quote, exhibited continuous and blatant disregard for the law. That alone, this guy should be set free.
So I'm just trying to figure out what the like, why? What is the benefit to proceed with this? Like,
we must get this guy off the streets, Tony. How dare he try to cure somebody's poison ivy rash without Big Daddy government knowing about it, because they need to tax it, regulate it, and inspect your fucking house before
come on.
you
No,
it.
come on.
I mean,
you're telling me
it better have some big pharma in there, because they've been doing a bang up job as of late.
You're telling me Horse and Buggy Man needs to be gone after, but there's fucking witch doctor white chicks with dreadlocks out there that are fucking dipping toes into fucking gold and crystal and shit, and probably recommending to their weirdo friends like mint
they want you to use
cure for poison ivy, but we're gonna go after the Amish.
They want you to use FDA approved items to let's say we're gonna fix our hair up, right? You need to go get Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, right?
It's a great
hair. Need FDA approved, all natural products to work with your hair. Don't do Gorilla Glue.
Because I thought at first this was like skin cream for like horses and stuff like that, but then you're telling me it's skin cream for people.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, at that point, then it's one of those. Somebody could say, I was defrauded because he didn't put enough canola oil in it or whatever.
I feel safer. So, I don't know about you guys, but
I know. Like, I mean, who needs Batman? Exactly. When you've got these like stand-up, outstanding, honorable men.
Like, so most our lives living in an Amish nightmare.
Well, it's kind of like.
Nothing.
Hold on, real quick. Who here would buy lotion from an Amish dude?
If I'm there.
Well, I was about to say, fuck it.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
He's probably gonna have a little bit of horse jizz in, but whatever.
Chicken, for goddamn sure it doesn't have chemicals in it.
Well,
you wouldn't even know where to find them.
But to Tony's point, I don't know what chemicals are in it.
You already don't know what chemicals are in the lotion you buy at your store.
Yeah. I was about to say, if you read the label and you can tell me half of that shit, you are a goddamn liar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
artificial jizz, horse
formaldehyde. Like, wait, what?
What's actually worse, real horse jizz or artificial horse jizz?
I would rather soak myself in, and I'm gonna stop it right there.
I say, how far you want to go with this? Because I'll go deep.
I'll do.
We know, Tony. We know.
Yeah, you already know.
I'm gonna stick with my own jizz. I'd rather just stick with that.
Wait, you save your own? So that is just a recycling cycle. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is. It's probably really good for your own skin to save your.
I hear.
Like I want to leave this conversation so bad.
I'm just like, how did we arrive here? No, guys. Like, I'm just like, yes, this truly is the best episode of all time. Like,
it's coming to our online shop next week. Canisters of lotion from Big Buck and Empire. Make sure you check out the store.
Right. Better not. Apparently, you will disappear in Kriege's black fucking bag if you make your own fucking lotion. This motherfucker's being charged $250,000 fucking dollars for it.
I'll let the FDA come inspect my bathroom and check the ingredients.
I can't finish unless they watch anyway.
I'm making lotion to build back better. Come on, guys.
Mr. West, this is semen. We're calling the police.
Yeah, this is the Randy Marsh. This is Randy Marsh. This is cum.
Huh?
So,
way to go, Butters.
So, Amish guy making lotion. So, I don't know how we got here, but now I think we mostly got here because this guy clearly has never even heard of the concept of pulling out. Like, apparently that's why he kept selling the lotion, because he's never pulled out of anything ever. And I'm not pulling out of this business venture either. So that's
what Amish guys practice that method. Come on. No, they don't.
The ones who spent time in the English world, Tony. Hadn't you watched Amish Mafia?
Oh God, that was one of my most guilty pleasures. Like when they would do a fucking like all day marathon, like, I couldn't get away from it. Lebanon Levi for life.
How much do you think this the charges on this guy or the government even coming after him? How much do you think that was like a mafia type thing? Like he pissed off somebody who was making a better lotion, so they turned him in.
Well, no, I was about to say anything the government does is always a mafia type thing. They're just a much more organized one.
I'm talking more about the Amish dude. Who did he piss off to spark the ire of the government to come after him? Did he raise a barn on somebody else's property like 2 feet across the
You're missing the big picture here, chicken. This is going to be a Randy Weaver Ruby Ridge situation. Like he's a patsy, because when they call and tell him when his court date is, guess what? He ain't going to have a phone. So they're just going to be able to rack the charges up. It's gonna be a fucking siege in fucking Lexington County, Pennsylvania.
They're gonna show up to his little village and then be like, "Shit, they all look the same."
We're looking for a dude with a beard.
I have no picture
he's got
idea of him.
And a hat. Fuck. All right.
Wait,
they're all named Jebediah. Fuck. Really? Even some of the daughters are named Jebediah.
And
so
they have beards and the same hair. God damn.
Yeah.
Dalton with a good. Did he use his one phone call?
That would be a sin. No.
Who would he call?
Good question.
Yeah.
Like,
Good
I'm assuming, like, does the Amish lawyer, does he take telegraph?
They'll have one emergency phone contact they can call. And it's just a switchboard from like the 70s. It's not even.
Everyone knows. Call Shane Jebediah, Mennonite lawyer. It's like he's the one guy that can have a phone. He's a Mennonite, so he can.
That makes sense.
Mennonites have a purpose in this world. That's right.
They take the phone calls.
They take the phone calls for the Amish. Yep,
I'd like to see that switchboard.
That's what they're all doing in Milford, Nebraska.
Anderson.
Oh my
Henderson
God.
too.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like the Amish
you can
Paradise
drink in
song.
Henderson.
We're all crazy Mennonites living in an Amish paradise.
All right. Side note: me and one of my brothers took my mom out to a Dairy Queen in Milford, and like we sat down, and everybody's dressed like they're in the 50s. And my mom didn't understand what was going on. And she's like, why is everybody dressed like they're older than me? And it was my brother Travis. He goes, Mom, they're all Mennonites. And I was too young. And I go, they're all Mennonites? Like really loud in the middle of Dairy Queen. And everybody stops and looks at me. I was like, you're the Mennonites? Like, why are you looking at me? Like,
yeah, like, what?
Well, fuck you guys.
Chicken later found out what Mennonite meant.
Yeah, I didn't really know at the time. I was pretty young. It was funny. My mom didn't know what was going on either. Like, we'd never, been in a Dairy Queen full of Mennonites. That was weird.
It happens.
Does it?
I don't know. Probably more.
I feel like that's a pretty fucking unique
but...
story because I've been in a lot of goddamn fucking places and never fast food where I see Mennonites. Anyway,
that's fair.
Yeah, I see them in Walmart all the time. All right,
yes.
That's enough. That's enough.
But everybody's at Walmart. It's like I was giving chicken shit the other day.
They'll all come.
It's like, yeah. By the way, I was at Walmart the other day. Yeah, chicken. Fuck you. And just. Like, because that was the beginning of the story. Yeah, I was at Walmart. Yeah, chicken. Fuck you.
And by the way, fuck you, chicken. And I went through the self-checkouts. Fuck you, chicken.
So, the Amish apparently can't be Amish anymore. What a great country, folks. So, Amish can't make homemade shit and trade it amongst themselves. That's a great.
Yeah, I feel like that might throw a wrench in the gears of the Amish community if they can't make and distribute their own anything.
And that
now, Tony, what you call a bug is actually the main
keeping
feature.
the outside world out. Yeah.
That there's no community that the feds don't want to embed themselves as deeply as possible. Come on now, you know that. As anybody on the right, we've known that for decades. You can't even go anywhere where the right gathers without fucking it just being fucked with feds. It's like,
yeah, those evil Amish. You know they're plotting something. They're going to take over any day now.
We need people to like make movies about stuff like this. Like, what would it be like for an FBI agent with a kind heart to get embedded into? I know, right?
You're talking about comedy there.
Movie. It's a Hollywood movie. So anyway, he gets embedded in with the Amish, and then while doing the investigation, right when he's about to clamp down on him, he's like, but these are good people. I can't just drag them down. What do I do? You get the moral, and then eventually the feds come in and knock down the door, and they're like, way to go, sir. Great job. You did it.
Isn't that a Harrison Ford movie?
I was about to say, don't tell me no shit I couldn't believe on acid. Okay, like, my God, like...
Schneider is Brother Jedediah.
Yeah.
Coming out this Rumspringa.
He's also an FBI informant.
Ooh.
Jesus.
But he's going to find out being an FBI informant in the Amish community isn't as easy as he thought. Oh, no. I got to churn this butter.
I went out and milked a cow. We don't got a cow, but we got a bull.
Bazinga.
Brought it back full circle, and yes, that's a Kingpin reference. Thank you.
So, all right. Well, gentlemen, rounding out
this
the
has all been done before.
Anything else we want to say on?
We could kill another hour easy just on this stupid.
So, chicken. Speaking of feds,
and the best part is, we were able to bring it all back around to jizz and make Phil feel uncomfortable.
Yes, that's great. That's great.
Mission accomplished.
We got one more story before we get into more Fed talk.
Next time Biden comes on, you guys need to ask him about this.
We'll ask him tonight. I'm sure.
Oh, is he coming tonight?
I imagine he's coming.
Well, it depends if he wanders into the room.
I have a feeling there's a story or two that he's going to want to respond to. So I got my pager on my belt, waiting for the old man to give me a call.
Oh God, that's right. Biden's got to get to his pager, and then he's got to get to his fax machine so he can actually get the URL, and then he shows up.
Yep.
And then Windows 95 has to actually boot up. He's doing the
whole. Word has it his free trial to AOL CD.
I was gonna say
really.
He's still doing the "You got mail."
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Jacob DeSue, a police officer in Bradford County, Florida. This is our next story, by the way, if you did not pick up on that. Bradford County, Florida, pulled over a black pregnant woman with her 3 kids in the car for speeding. He made her get out and pulled a gun on her. The kids recorded this, and it's matched with body cam footage. And then the officer soon resigned. This is coming from Don Lewis on Twitter. Tony, you mentioned the story prior before we get deeper into it. What do you know, sir?
Well, if you scroll on TikTok and you get sucked into the algorithm of like police audits or traffic stop injustices and evil cops, and you can, I mean, that's an easy rabbit hole to fall down. Once you get in, like they just keep rolling through. And this one popped up on my TikTok originally. And I'm like, okay, standard thing. But I mean, this guy got hostile like immediately. And it was for a really, really stupid reason, because she didn't pull over as quickly as he wanted her to. And I mean, as soon as he got her to pull over, gun was drawn and he was literally threatening her life. And it just got worse
this is
from
the
there.
Same.
I was about to say,
this is a separate incident.
No, this is a different.
Either that's the same incident and that's the dash cam footage, but no, what you had up before was the.
All right, let me go to that
footage.
NBC story, because this one
that
they
was
got
the
very
there?
aggressive there too. That's not
that
the
may be the dash cam footage, but yeah, I've got one.
Now let's be frank. When I hear this, all of this, it's like the TikTok on a scale of 1 to 10, my friend, you're fucked. Like, yeah, this is like, if he doesn't do at least 5 to 10 years in prison, I'll be kind of, because
it's bad. It's really bad.
All right, here we go.
All right,
no audio with it. We're just gonna pull it up.
Yeah,
I'm guessing this is the woman.
So she,
audio? Okay, let me
you kind of have to have the audio. It's jarring. Like, this guy fucking went ballistic.
It sucks because this is NBC. I don't want to play something.
Here, let me try. I've got one pulled up.
All right, sweet. But yeah, like, this is one of those things where, officer, just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean that you get to fucking like, and I get it, like, didn't pull over quite as soon. The minute they're not complying, it's like, yeah,
this is pretty egregious.
Sometimes officers will just flip their fucking wig.
Let me know if you can hear this.
Good morning. A deputy in South
I
Florida
can hear it.
is off the job after he pulled a gun on a
just make sure we pause every few seconds, because I don't know how.
Yeah, so what she's saying is not
TV 9 ABC is going to be with their content.
Yeah, what she says isn't important, so we can just talk over her.
But yeah.
That'll be your last mistake you're gonna make.
Jesus.
Your excuse means nothing to me right now. I don't want to hear.
Fuck him.
Deputy.
Yeah, so immediately, gun drawn, did not care. Apparently, like, you hear her say this. My husband told me if I'm in a dark area, try to pull over in a lit up area. That's why she pulled into the gas station.
Yeah, I'd tell my wife the same thing. Yeah,
exactly. Regardless of fucking. And now, granted, maybe he didn't know her race before this, and he was just pissed off. But I'm assuming he probably made assumptions. But
yeah,
I don't want to make it assumption. Yeah, it doesn't justify anything. I'm just saying. I don't want to particularly say this was all racially motivated, because he came out hot regardless.
Here's a silly problem. That this isn't the first time a story like this has happened, where a cop overreacts to a situation like this, where somebody getting pulled over and they're like, I'm not just going to pull over right here. This is dark. I don't know who these people are. Remember in Lincoln, Nebraska, there were fake cops pulling people over at 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly.
Like this shit's real. People do this, and then God knows what they're going to do to you. So anyway, that aside, like, we've seen this happen before, to where, here's the bad part though. Most of the time, like, they'll call their husband or wife, and they'll be like, hey, I'm getting pulled over, just so you know. Want you to know where I'm at. This is what's happening. I'm going to call 911, and they'll contact dispatch and say, hey, I'm being pulled over.
Yeah.
Can you let the officer know, like, I'm waiting until I get to an area? Dispatch doesn't contact the officer, like, ever. Like, the communication never makes it through. I bet, I don't know, knowing nothing about the story, I bet dispatch knew that this lady was not pulling over on purpose, and the officer was never told.
Probably. But I believe this continues here.
From her SUV.
Well, you can
Bradford
see.
County Sheriff says after watching the video,
Good
he
Lord.
asked Deputy Jason Dussault to resign.
She explains to him that, she's flashing lights to get to a lit area. Okay, well, that's what I want my wife to do. That's what I want my daughter to do. That's what
There you go.
Exactly.
If you feel unsafe.
Exactly.
Deputy
I mean, you can see here, like, he gets her in cuffs, and the video does continue, the original video, where she's obviously she's complying as much as humanly possible, pleading with him, not back talking him in the slightest, being very cordial, and he doesn't care. He never stops.
I'm sure he's on
he never puts the gun down. He never stops with the aggression, and you can hear her kids in the car, 3 kids, mind you, plus she's pregnant. And her kids are crying, and one's begging the crying one to stop. It's bad, and it never gets any better. And every time she tries, look, sir, you just got to understand, I just didn't want to get into a situation where and he just tells her to shut up. It
sounds like an asshole.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. This is unfortunately a job that attracts people who love the power and love the thrill of being in power. But that doesn't excuse it, because I see this shit, like literally this stuff, once you pop it up a couple of times on like a TikTok or a YouTube, it's going to be in your algorithm and you're going to see it fucking constantly. And that's the point where I'm like, yeah, I can absolutely see why people get it in their heads that we need to defund the police, because they see shit like this all the time. And it's easy to
start with the FBI.
It's easy to forget that there are good cops out there. Right.
Like, if you want to defund the police, start with the FBI, then go from there.
Yeah, that's
a good place to start.
But at the same time, like, I get it, cops deal with a lot. But there was never any danger for this guy. Like, this is one of those instances where this was so egregious, there is no fucking argument. So I was glad to see that clip. I didn't see that clip of the chief going, yeah, I would have told my wife to do the same thing. And yeah, the fucker's gone. Fuck him.
Now, I think we do need to do a follow-up on this story in a few months, because we're going to see if he actually got fired or if the police union stood behind him, which so often happens in these cases. And so officer like that, rather than getting fired, ends up just basically cleaning weapons and taking calls until retirement. So I think we should do a follow-up on this in a few months to see if this officer actually did lose his job, because this is one of those, like I don't like the cancel culture, like costing people their jobs, but there's some pricks who just need to fucking go down. And this is one where he needs to lose his job. Holy hell, didn't get notification that you guys were live. Hello, fellas.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. The Facebook notification was super late tonight. I don't know why.
It's totally fine. Now that it's coming close to the top of the hour, so I better get my subscription drink in.
Biscuit.
Oh God. Where should I go with it? Phil Jen.
Oh,
hey, chicken.
Love you.
I was just starting to like you.
Phil hasn't subscribed yet, so he doesn't get to get vengeance on it. It's great.
He's like, somebody show me how to subscribe right now.
How does one subscribe?
Yes, you can get yours.
Oh, Tony's going for a shot. Tony, you pour your shot. We'll take them both at the same time.
All right, fair enough. Let me get some.
Yeah.
Howard Dean.
So let me explain that again if you guys didn't catch it at the beginning of the show. If you subscribe on Facebook, it's $5 a month. For every show, every hour we restart the clock, you either get a free shot, free beer chug, or a free song from any of us, or even a free rant, whatever you want to go with. What normally was 500 star value, which, let's be real, folks, if you bought stars, you know it ain't $5 for 500 stars anymore. Somehow the inflation has really hit our stars on Facebook. So with the $5
why does
subscription,
Tony get to take a shot of something nice?
We're doing the inflation drive for subscribers on YouTube to help you live a better life and not beg you guys for money and be low down money grubbing hungry sons of bitches.
Dalton,
yes,
I'm going to go ahead and say this is the smartest thing you've ever said in all your time on God's green earth. Yes. Defund the police or refund the dog and chicken show.
So with that $5 for the whole month, every single show, every single hour, you get a free beer chug or shot from one of us.
I'm doing a shot with Phil here. So Phil, we're going to do this shot together. I'm doing a Jameson cold brew, about 60%, and 40% Mullins Irish cream liqueur. What are you taking a shot of, Phil?
I fucking hate you.
Here, let's get in close. Let's get it nice
All right.
and tight there, Phil. All right.
To fighting, stealing, drinking. If you're gonna fight, may it be for a friend. If you're gonna steal, may it be a lover's heart. And if you're gonna drink, better be with me.
Oh, that's nice. Highly recommend that. Oh, that is delicious. Phil, how was yours? Was it good?
It's like they found a way to distill when I had my wisdom teeth taken out. They distilled it into a bottle.
That whole thing, I was like, oh man, that looks terrible for Tony. Phil, it looks like yours is so delicious.
I know, it was torture for me.
Fuck off. Oh, God, that was awful.
And that clock resets in 10 minutes for those of you who are already subscribed.
So in 10 minutes, you can make Tony chug a beer. You can make Chicken take a shot of Canadian LTD, his favorite liquor in all God's
I don't know
creation.
where I put it. I'm not going to lie.
We'll wait.
Oh, we'll wait. Yeah, you can find that god-awful shit.
Phil, before we come visit Chicken, we need to stop somewhere and either get him a bottle of gin and or a bottle of Canadian whiskey. The best, nothing but the best.
Oh, remember
Like
when
LTD.
I found at Grand Central in York, it was a bottle of gin that they like put into a bottle of kerosene, like one of those aluminum kerosene bottles.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, I know.
Because I was gonna
know what I'll do.
once all my gin runs out, which at the fucking rate you fuckers are making me drink this shit, it'll probably be sometime this winter. I got to fucking re-up on my gin. But
how's your Beefeater bottle doing?
It's still pretty full, actually. I got rid of my subscription to Tony's OnlyFans so I could torture him.
Look,
Tony, so
I
sorry.
get it. Times are tough, and once you've seen my feet, like you saved the pics. I get it.
Only one sub. Only one sub. Like,
Hey, one sub's more than you got to your OnlyFans. I thought Phil was going to moon us there for a second when he stood up.
It's cold gin time again.
It's cold gin time. All right. So, yes, it will reset here at the top of the hour. So that means, folks, if you're not subscribed already to Facebook, you have 8 minutes to do so and get that drink in. I promise you, it's fucking
you
worth
can
it.
sneak one in before the hour's up and then another one as soon as the hour hits. So,
look, I tell you what, if you're a new subscriber throughout the whole show, while we're live, we'll give you 2 automatically.
Oh, so that's like a signing bonus. Yeah. Like if you're signing on to the NFL or something, you get a signing bonus.
So anybody watching on YouTube and
fucking Tony's giving away the farm tonight, fellas.
Go to Facebook.
Well, that's only to get new subs. You got to be a new sub to do that, folks.
Yeah, it's very simple. Very simple.
I said
$5
Chicken,
a month, as
private
opposed to $5.
How does one sub? Phil, you'd have to take your credit card and hook it up to. Wait, you can hook a credit card to Facebook?
Phil's looking for the credit card port on his laptop. Yeah. Is it going between the AS key? I don't know how to put it in.
Well, yeah, like how does this show work? Why isn't it like
what the fuck?
Oh
shit.
Is that legit?
I'm looking it up here.
We got a sub in Lynn. We got a sub in Lynn. We got a sub in Lynn.
I gotta switch profiles. God damn it.
You must see it was meant to be. We got a sub
of Jared Fogle in Lynn.
And yes, Lynn has a subscriber badge on his name now.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Got an automatic.
Welcome, new subscriber, Lynn. You beautiful bastard, you. And folks, Lynn, you can also see Lynn if you check out the Bourbon Tournament at KOE Nation on YouTube. That's another place you can actually see Lynn with me and these two crazy fellas, along with occasionally, did you hear me? And Brendan from Dad's Worldwide. So if you want to see what's the actual best bourbon in all God's creation, you're going to have to subscribe to KOE Nation on YouTube. Sorry, folks. I don't make the rules.
Folks, I was there for these videos, and I have fully just enjoyed thoroughly both of the videos that have already dropped, and I'm looking forward to the very next one. Cannot wait.
So explain again, Tony, what Lynn's...
Okay, so tonight, obviously,
short minutes.
Lynn managed to get it in before the top of the hour anyway, so you get one at every hour. So at the beginning of the show, you get one, and then at the 1 hour mark, you get another. And if we make it to the 2 hour mark and we keep going, you get a third. It's just that simple. So instead of paying 500 stars or 1,000 stars or 1,500 stars or whatever, every time you want to make us drink a beer or take a shot, you just sub and you get 1, 2, or 3 every show. So that's 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, instead of doing it one time. It's so fucking simple. Fuck the stars.
So I'm going to say, Skinnerd West, I mean, since you did just freshly sub, also Skinnerd West on TikTok, and also our other sub, Justin Chris, check him out at the Yanked Up podcast on YouTube. Check them out both, because you know it's the right thing to do. But so...
And yes, that is correct. You get another in 4 minutes. I do have a couple of beers.
Lynn gets 2. Oh, good Lord Almighty!
I've got a couple of beers down here, so
we're
am
at
ready.
56 minutes, so we have 4 minutes before it flips.
4 minutes, folks.
So, Lynn, if you want to make somebody drink, get it in the next 4 minutes, and then you get another one after that 4 minutes is up, and then we all get to restart. So,
yep.
I don't think it's worth jumping into a story until we're beyond that.
Lynn goes, "Who wants to chug?" Tony wants to chug.
I can do it. Like if nobody else wants to. Apparently, we need to get Phil a 6-pack to take.
And regardless, I'm gonna have to go find.
How about
my
you
LTD,
shut your whore mouth?
I'm
Tony.
just gonna go find my. I'm gonna go find my LTD and get a shot glass. So
okay,
yes,
that's fair.
Oh, I can. I don't worry, I can take it from here. So, yes, folks, Tony's got to chug this beer right here, and do not fear, because it will be done, and it will be austere. And I managed to do that whole rhyme without using the one word you were waiting for me to use. So, okay, give me some credit there. So, but other than
I'm just gonna put it out there, folks. Like I know everybody loves, and I love it too, folks. I love it. Making Phil take gin shots, and he loves it too. It's why he gets up in the morning. But there's only one thing I can think that he would love as much as taking a gin shot, and that's chugging a beer live on the stream some nights. So I think we can mix this up. Like we don't have to handcuff ourselves to gin shots. I think we could get Phil a nice 6-pack of Select 55. We'll even take it easy on him. We won't make him chug Guinness. I think I'll get Phil a couple of 6-packs of Select 55. You know, that stuff goes through you like water anyway. And we can start making Phil do some beer chugs. What do you think of that, Phil? You can subscribe to these nuts.
That's also what I think of that idea. It's bad enough that I have to take shots of gin, but like, yeah, beer. That's like, I ain't gonna be able to chug them down like you.
Well, I'm not saying you have to. And speaking of, I do have to get this in the next 2 minutes. So we are at the 58-minute mark. Let's get this in. Chug one. All right, Lynn. Thank you for subscribing to the Dog and Chicken Show at Big Buckin' Empire on Facebook. Very easy. $5 monthly fee instead of paying $5 every week per drink. Look at this. I've got my shitty Michelob Ultra. You can basically see through it and see it's going to turn into piss already because it tastes like it anywho. Not a fan. But I wasn't going to waste all my Yangaling on a chug. So here we are to Michelob Ultra. Cheers, folks.
Please, Augie. Down it goes. Oh, well done.
Ooh, you know,
well done.
The worst part about Michelob Ultra, not only does it taste bad, it's also really foamy. So it's not a good chug beer. Like, it's actually kind of hard.
I mean, looking at that glass, you could have fooled me that it was foamy.
Oh God! Well, I've mastered how to pour this fucking thing without making a lot of head because, if you just dump it right in the glass, it's like 60% foam, and it's a rough bastard. Ugh. And to be fair, when I bring a beer or two down to chug, it's easiest just to give it a little small little click. That way, you get that fucking extra air out. It's a little flatter by the time you actually pour it. Makes it much easier to slam. Folks, that's a pro tip from Tony fucking G. And I don't know if you just watched that, but yes, I am an expert. So let me repeat it for you. If you're planning on doing some chugging, give it a little crack well in advance before you pour that bastard, and it's going to be all smooth sailing for you.
Yes,
There you have
we've
it.
all grown.
Yeah.
Oh Lord! So yes, now
Boy,
Tony,
Chicken's really digging through the boxes to find that Canadian LTD.
where the fuck is that bullshit?
Yeah, he ran away. He's like, oh fuck, I found it, but I really don't want to do this. I had a Busch Latte along with you. Well, thank you. See, I ran out of Busch Light because that is my preferred chug beer. So I do need to pick some more actual beer up. Don't make head, just give it. That words to live by. Absolutely. So Lynn will be resetting right now. Justin will be resetting right now. Tony fucking G and Chicken will also be resetting now. So that's 4 that I know of resetting right now.
Oh, good God Almighty! So Chicken is still looking.
Yes.
So Justin wants to give a shot to Chicken. That's beautiful. So then we've got Tony G.
How loud is my how loud is my pencil when I do that?
Not very. You can hear it, but not really.
Okay.
Well, fuck you, Justin. Jesus Christ.
I feel like we could make that happen. We could stretch it over an hour.
I think
it wouldn't even be the most gin shots you've taken in one night, Phil. Your record.
The most was the record was I think 8.
I think it was 8, and it was a beautiful night. That was a beautiful. Actually, I think that night alone paid for Brennan Roy at Dad's Worldwide Podcast.
I do. Thank you, Tyler. That was very nice of you.
Tyler.
You're an asshole.
Not just Tyler, but also your wife. Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say there was a lot of people that were just like getting in on that one. We had folks from New York.
That's the beauty of the Star Board, folks. When it's in full swing,
it brings people together.
It does, but it is better, and this is a much better deal. I don't know how many times we got to say it. You get 2 to 3 drinks a show, and we do 4 shows a month instead of giving somebody 1 drink per show. Come on, the math adds up. You don't even need Common Core math to figure.
You philosopher king, you Justin. He knows he can never do it. Otherwise, he'll never be invited to Castle KOE again. Which
you will. Yeah, you will.
Tony, you shut your
gin
fucking whore
and he'll
mouth.
let you right in the door.
Shut your whore mouth. So it looks like Chicken's taking a shot at LTD whenever he gets back.
Yeah, when he finally decides to come back. He probably just said.
Now I'm curious between Lynn or even Justin here. Let's see. We've got Tony. We've got Lynn. We've got Justin. Who am I missing?
Chicken.
Oh, okay, Chicken. So Lynn or Justin, if you want to make Tony take a shot or slam a beer, this is your chance.
I do have another beer. I would prefer to wait, but the audience wants.
Hey, Tony, when
they want,
the show must go on.
I
looks like Chicken's at least getting back, but he's still desperately searching through his shelves. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Once we get through these drinks, we will get back into the stories.
I can't find the LTD to save my life, man. I've looked everywhere.
Well, guess we know what we got to pick up on the way to Sodak, Phil. This is oh, you know what? We may skip the LTD. I happen to know this is a bit of a honey hole, and I can't believe I'm going to say this on air, Phil. I have it on good authority that Superfoods in Geneva has one of the finest selections of Canadian whiskey that there's ever been. Like, these bottles only have 15 years worth of dust on them, and I swear the quality.
So we're gonna get him a nice plastic aged LTD 175 for like $6.
175 plastic bottle of like Canadian Springs or Black Velvet. Like, the possibilities are endless.
All right, what should
we
I
may
take
just
a
make a
shot
nice
of,
gift basket of Canadian whiskey for like $20. Chicken's like, oh god, fuck this. Okay, I'll do whatever you want. Just please don't bring me any more shitty Canadian.
Hey, you gotta take a shot of that weird ass mezcal I gave you.
Oh, Oh yeah, Justin, do that.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
You
can see by how full it is how much I love it.
Wait a minute.
I'm all out of the Dan Aykroyd vodka.
All right.
So now this is basically like peated tequila. I don't know how else to describe
it. Who's this
Chicken's
for?
either going to love it or hate it.
Oh,
and I want you to do a review of this sometimes.
That smells fucking wild.
Who's this for? Is this shot for Justin?
I don't know.
So. Justin, do you wait. I was gonna say.
You can pour it.
Windsor Bust is the name of the.
Yeah. Windsor would actually be like a quality improvement from some of these.
So this is Del Maguey Single Village Mezcal. Del Maguey.
From Oxa,
what is it? 100% Tobala?
Yeah, it's Tobala Mezcal. Now, just to give you some heads up, Tobala is actually an agave, which is way smaller. It takes 8 Tobala to equal 1 regular agave. And they only grow at about 60 some odd degrees in shady areas on mountains. It's the rarest mezcal in the world.
It is,
but you either love it or hate it.
There's quality there, I promise.
It smells rough.
It's not
like it's like peated.
Let's find out, folks.
It's like peated tequila is my best.
It's like it's one of those. I need some salt because I get what you're talking about, the tequila.
Yes,
and I get the smoky. I kind of want some salt on this, but we're gonna do this. No training wheels. Let's go. Thumbs up, boys. Let's do this.
Leroy Jenkins.
Ooh.
Yep.
No, I kind of like that.
Knew it.
I kind of like that.
Fucking knew it.
He didn't hate it. Yeah.
Like me and Tony, I'll be honest, we weren't fans.
Not huge fans. No,
it's Jose Cuervo with a little smoke.
More than a little.
Now that bottle costs like $100. So
really?
Yeah, it was
because it's
$100 that up in Houston.
No,
yeah,
I would never pay for that again. And it'll take me 5 years to finish it, which is why I gave it to you to review, and I know you'll actually like it. So
yeah, enjoy that.
It's like super peated fucking tequila. So
yeah,
that's
exactly what it tastes like. Woo.
Yeah, it's different.
Because they actually bake the Tobala mezcals. They literally just dig a hole, fucking throw the Tobala in the hole. They start baking it, bury it again.
Before we get into a story, what did you guys have to drink?
We're waiting. I'm probably gonna have to drink soon, or somebody could make you take another shot. Lynn hasn't said anything.
Hour. Well, Lynn said, "Whoever's thirsty, go for it." Well,
I really think Chicken's just thirsty for another shot of that.
Let's be fair here.
And then Tony, I think Chicken needs to take a shot.
Well, Chicken does have to. Okay, Chicken, who do you want? Lynn, who do you want? And I'll save mine.
Phil Gin.
God, you guys suck ass.
And my drink for the rest of the night is going to be the Breckenridge rum cask.
Oh, baby.
Tony had me try that. That was fucking insanity in a glass.
That's
sin. Is gorgeous stuff.
Yeah, that's sin. And I had you try that when your taste buds were shit, Phil.
Yeah, and this is a dish best served neat.
To gin. Fuck you.
Oh, I saw the pain.
I almost gagged on that.
Yeah.
I felt that one.
Like it took 3 swallows to get that shot out.
Oh,
God, why? Who made this awfulness? That's right. We found out it's some Dutch fuck who invented gin. So that's.
I gotta say, StreamYard, I really hope you come up with an instant replay feature one of these days.
That'd be great.
I want to watch Phil have that roll down his throat. That looked painful. Painful.
That was.
Wow, that looked.
I'm biting my tongue on comments right now, but I kind of want to be like, well, there's so many things I want to replay of rolling down Phil's throat. Like,
yeah, fair.
Well, okay.
Okay, gee, fuck it. Here, I'll do it, Lynn.
Tony's taking a beer chug.
Let me.
1, 2, 3, not it. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Missed it. All right.
If while Tony's getting that ready, folks, if you ever run into this specific bottle, Breckenridge Rum Cask Finish, it's a bourbon, but it's candy in a glass. You drink this neat. You don't need ice. You don't need water. If you wanted to put it on ice, you sure could, but you don't need it. This stuff, it's candy in a glass, and it'll fuck you up. It's so good.
If you've ever wondered what a strawberry daiquiri with whiskey would taste like, this is the whiskey to do it with.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking
It's
God.
amazing stuff. Yeah.
Are you talking about Breckenridge rum?
Yeah, it's so goddamn good. And I'll be frank, like when I bought that first bottle of Breckenridge bourbon, like I was new to bourbon, so it was a little jarring. I mean, I liked it, but it was jarring, and I didn't dip into it a lot. And I kind of let it sit there for a while because I knew we had a bourbon tournament coming around, so I didn't have it a lot until we came back around to that. And by that time, my palate had really readjusted to bourbon. When we got back into it, and it did so well. I'm like, God, that is really good fucking bourbon. Everything I've had from there has been so good. I had that bottle, Phil, that you got me with the port cask finish, with this rum cask finish chicken. I think you've got a high proof from Breckenridge.
Yep. I got the regular.
I don't know if I tried that or not, but you said that's damn good
it's
too.
Pretty good.
I don't think they make a bad thing.
I'm looking forward. They actually got a sherry finish, and now they're coming out with a Madeira finished.
The Madeira.
I did see somebody posted on one of the Scotch groups I'm in on Facebook. Somebody picked up while in Scotland the 15-year Balvenie Madeira cask.
Oh, good!
And I'm like,
Christ,
my dick just got hard.
Oh,
yeah. Because for those who don't know, me and Tony reviewed one time the Glenfiddich 19-year Discovery series, and one of them was there was a bourbon finish, there was a red wine finish, and then there was the Madeira finish. I wanted to really like the red wine the most because I'm a bit of a wine snob, but the Madeira was just like literally top three
maybe
scotches.
The best scotch I've ever had. I mean, it's right up there with Glenfiddich 21 and whatever the best thing Dalmore you can think of.
Yeah. So that one, it's like, God damn, make that s'more. So anything finished in Madeira immediately makes me raise an eyebrow.
Jose 1942, just take it just because.
Is that the dark one? Like the... Is that a mezcal? Not a mezcal, but like a Roja coffee. I don't know. I think I remember what he's talking. I remember.
I think the only tequila I have in my house, I think I have a bottle of Montezuma upstairs for when like people come over. I think that's about it.
I've got. This is actually one of my favorite tequilas. We should review this sometime before it's empty. Maybe I'll bring it with us. No, this is Tarantula Azul.
Yeah, I remember I used to call it Tarantula.
No, this is not that fucking premix shit. This is the actual tequila, and it is blue.
Well, folks,
it's actually good.
Keep your eyes on this space. Eventually, 32 tequila tournament
to
dropping.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. That's
all right. Let's jump in.
Well, I got to chug this first, then we'll get into
chug that. We got a lot of stories to get into still.
Chug that, and then Tony's got his choice.
Oh, don't you get too excited, Phil. You know what's going to happen.
You son of a bitch.
Ziggy, zuggy, ziggy, zuggy. Oi, oi, oi.
Hey, well done.
Love it.
All right.
Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Well done, sir.
Woo!
All right. Without further ado,
do we
folks,
talk about anything on this show, or we
the
just
next
drink?
45 to 50 minutes are going to be straight up hardcore, some of the fucking craziest politics that we've talked about all goddamn year. Shit has escalated to another goddamn level. This is where we turn the show a little bit more serious. If you're not in tune with what's going on with the FBI, the White House, the DOJ, stay tuned, folks, because we're going to give you the real deal here. Like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. Let's get into this next story because I can't believe some of the shit that's happening right now. This one's not as crazy as some of the other ones to come, but it's still fucking crazy because, well, I'll not going to bury the lead here. We'll just jump right into the story. Wow, my screen is tweaking out. Let's bring that back up. Okay, it's just the bottom tweaking now. Sorry, anybody who might have epileptic
seizures.
Yeah, don't have a seizure on me. Trump says DOJ made him look like a slob by putting documents on his floor in a messy fashion and slams dishonest photo of Mar-a-Lago office. Now, obviously, if you've been paying attention to the news, you know what he's referring to. It's this photo. This photo came out as what they found in Trump's Mar-a-Lago office. Now, my question is, one, why would they leak this photo specifically after a week, 2 weeks, or is it 3 weeks since they raided Mar-a-Lago and everybody got mad about it? So they're like, oh, well, we have to show that there was something. You wouldn't arrange shit like this on a floor to collect evidence. That's not how, like, each individual item would be tagged. So they tried to make it look somewhat official, put the ruler down there at the bottom. They put a 2A on there to like tag it as a piece of evidence. You know, each document would be put into evidence separately as their own individual label. This is not how, and I'm sorry, if this is how our FBI is currently collecting evidence, no fucking wonder Hunter Biden got away with what he did. But this is not how anybody collects evidence. This is obviously the most obvious fucking picture to leak to the goddamn news source for somebody who's thinking Orange Man bad. Am I wrong? What are your guys' thoughts? This picture pissed me off because even those fucking tool bags on fucking Fox News morning show, whatever the fuck they do, they're like, why would he have so many top secret documents? Well, because he was the former fucking president, you fucking retard. Like, what do you think? And why would they take this picture next to him, obviously, with framed photos of Time magazine? Like, obviously, this is not anything. This is the big nothing burger as it was from the beginning. And
what is that? Like his 6th grade diploma sitting on top? And then
here's the other thing. If it was actually top secret photos, you're not allowed to take fucking pictures of them, even if you black it out. Like, isn't that just as bad as having them?
No, because Orange Man bad.
Oh my God. Like, this just infuriated me how stupid everybody got with this. But anyway, fellas, you take over from here.
Well, it's something that I was going to touch on here. It's something that a lot of people really seem to look over, and it's the idea of there is an executive order that was signed by Barack Obama and also one very similar by George H.W. Bush, which more or less stated that a president can declassify anything unilaterally. They don't have to get permission. They don't have to write anything down. They actually don't even have to tell anyone about it. And so, to be frank, even if you think that's bullshit, you're not going to get a jury to agree on that. Not even a DC jury. So you're going to have, nothing's going to come of this. This is a fishing expedition. They were just basically like when we had Nate Dallin on, they were literally just hoping they'd get lucky and find like a brick of cocaine or a body in Trump's basement or something.
Which
and then they could
fucking cool news. Like,
well, that's what they were hoping for. And this was just kind of their excuse. Here's a spoiler alert, folks. Spoiler alert. No charges will befall President Trump over this incident. There's a spoiler alert for you. Nothing is going to ultimately happen to President Trump.
Bill, can I hold you to
incident.
That statement as a official prediction before the 2024 election?
2020. Okay. All right. Because I was actually making some bets with people from here to January 1st.
I don't know what it's going to. I don't know what it's going to be for, but Trump will be indicted on something.
Okay.
On
so
something.
Chicken.
It doesn't mean that he's actually going to be guilty or like go through with anything, but they're going to indict him on something.
Okay. You know what? Well, I was going to say it was over this specifically. If we're going to go indicted over anything and all time, that's a bit different. But I was going to make the bet that over this FBI raid, Trump will see no consequence because something could happen between here and there.
If they did it on this, they would have to be
Trump
desperate.
Trump, like, I don't know. He finally, like, I don't know, him and Nancy Pelosi like get into a hair pulling match like on Capitol Hill or something like that in the year 2023. It's like, okay, that's a bit of a different issue altogether. But and none of you knew how much you wanted to see that.
I'm picturing celebrity deathmatch right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
It'd be beautiful.
Well, like Tony, you remember in like 2007, the Divas, they would always just like pull each other's hair and then just grapple on the ground for a minute.
Right.
I could see Trump. And
I'm looking at
back when the hot chicks
this,
on WWE didn't know how to wrestle, so they just pull hair and look nice.
Pretty much.
They were allowed like 90 seconds a match.
But no, like I've actually been throwing this out from people who live in Texas, people who live all over the place. And the bet was pretty simple. Okay. The deadline is January 1, 2023. No charges, no indictment will befall the president of the United States. And here's how we prove it wrong. If any charges or indictments in relation to this FBI raid are brought against President Trump, I will donate $100 to the children's hospital that you deem the best in your state. But if no charges are brought against President Trump, you have to donate $100 to Omaha Children's Hospital and Pediatric Center by January 1st. That is the bet. Do you accept it or no? No one would fucking take it.
Wow. Nobody wants. Well, Phil, if I chose you to have to pay that money to the biggest clinic or child hospital in Illinois that is 100% on for transgender surgeries, would you still pay it?
Well, first of all, that's not your home state.
That's a bet.
But no, if it was a bet, well, again, that's the thing.
They're chemically castrating children at this hospital.
Oh, good Lord. Well, thank God I'm keeping this bet restricted to your state. But I'll keep that bet in mind if I'm betting somebody in Illinois. But
folks, we might get into children's hospitals that are not taking care of your children. Anyway,
ooh, that might actually be a good story because I mean, there's people like me. They're like, okay, we'll do that, like, because I got a feeling like the liberal guy in Texas, that would probably be the first if there was one in Texas doing like. You never know. So something to keep making 1,000, Phil. Well, no, you got to keep in mind, like, I don't know the financial situation of the people that I was making these bets with. So like, I don't know if
Twitch are all like mommy and daddy raised them and paid for everything, and that's why they think the way they do, and they can afford it.
Can you
pull
back up that picture of the mess on the floor?
Absolutely, sir. I sure can.
I just
that carpet
it does remind me
more
of
than
something.
most people's yearly wage.
Yep.
I'm looking at that. Okay. That's good. You can pull that down. That reminds me of this specifically. Yeah, when I take my kids to the local pond and they catch bluegill, like the saddest and smallest of all fish that you can think, that you're going to throw back anyway because it's not worth.
But they still want a picture with it.
I mean, yeah, you want your picture with the fish because you caught the fish. You went out there, you baited the hook.
Tony, that one on the bottom left. That one on the bottom left. And then you
cast it. Well, Dad cast it, but Tony, you caught it.
The one on the bottom left looks really threatening. I know it's fitting in his hand. No, bottom left. Go all the way. Bottom left.
This guy?
That one?
Ooh.
Look at his face.
Oh, look at the frown.
Look at that fucking face.
That son of a bitch.
How about the one in the bottom middle? That thing's a monster.
Bated teeth to fucking send out a mean tweet.
This is a monster.
This one launched a whole social media platform on its own.
This one started January 6th.
Oh my God. And this one denounced it. Like this one.
You're the bastard.
Cheney.
But the guy
like that would have to be the sequel to Team America World Police. So you're the bastard planning January 6 times 1,000.
But the guy in that picture is serving 6 months for rioting. Yeah.
So I look at that and it's obviously we know it's a fishing expedition, but you're right. Like you're looking at that and we're just showing that to the public as damage control. It's damage control because when else do you just
it's like when you go on a deer hunt, you want a picture of you and your buck.
No, you don't take Snapchats and tweet it out of the fucking FBI raid. That just doesn't happen. So this is just
No,
damage control.
But Tony, you do. Big game hunters do take pictures of their hunts and of their catches, and it's very much like you were talking about. Like, yeah, it's a small fish, but to them, Tony, it's
That's what I'm saying.
biggest, grandest moose stag that ever lived. Because, like, with January 6th. With Russia collusion, with both the impeachments, the people on the left, and we have now seen our intelligence apparatus. They just will do anything they can. Now, President KOE will appoint Brendan Roy as the new head of the FBI.
Oh God, he'll love and hate that job all at the same
And yeah, bluegill are fucking dumb, and it is fitting. So that's really what you look at that and you see just a nothing fish that you're not going to keep, and it's not going to win you a trophy. It's not going to win you a tournament. You're not going to take it home and freeze it and cook it. You're going to throw it back after you take your picture with it. That's exactly what it's. And I agree with Phil on this one. Nothing of this raid is actually going to come to fruition to actually indict the man. It's not going to happen. Not off of this, not based off of what we know now. Do you really think by now at this point, had they actually found something of merit with some, actual substance, that they'd wait this fucking long? God, no. They would have had him in fucking handcuffs the second they thought they had that silver bullet. But instead, this quasi third and fourth impeachment are yet again another fucking impossible Whopper sandwich of nothing.
Tony,
well, something you guys got to keep in mind
right now.
Like, do you guys not understand? Like, hang on. This is something you got to understand here, though, guys. Our intelligence community literally believes the same things that Sam Harris said in that interview where he basically melted his career, where he said Trump University alone is worse than anything that Hunter Biden was even accused of. Sam Harris literally said in an interview while he was being filmed, he said, if the Hunter Biden laptops would have had exposure to dead children, I wouldn't have cared about it, and I still would have wanted to be suppressed so Trump would lose. And now this is something you got to keep in mind. This is from General Michael Hayden. Okay, he was one of the former he was a former CIA director. Okay, and he retweeted. Just keep this in mind. Edward Luce, a journalist, tweeted, "I've covered extremism and violent ideologies around the world and have come across the political force. I've never come across a political force more nihilistic, dangerous, and contemptible as today's Republicans. Nothing close." Then the former CIA director said, "I agree. And I was the CIA director." So you actually have our intelligence agencies, which we've now seen through the FISA courts, and we've now seen will be an open conspiracy to do everything they can to undermine and depose President Trump. And then you keep in mind that the Hunter Biden laptop story was actually suppressed because of a letter from 50 former intelligence officers and agents. There's no such thing as former, folks. That they said this is Russian disinfo. We now know that letter was complete whole cloth fabrication. So you can actually make the argument for open election interference by our intelligence apparatus. Now, I want you to keep in mind something, folks. Okay, I'm going to look this up real quick. Rigged definition. Now, I'm not saying anything. All I am simply showing you and demonstrating for you folks is
jumping the horse here, but
no. What I'm getting at here is, well, now it won't give me the exact definition. I'm looking for the crime definition. There we go. Let's see. But what I'm getting at here is you can actually make, by the definition, the dictionary definition of rigged is to try to change the events or outcomes of some sort of idea or event in order to benefit somebody. And that is exactly what our intelligence agencies did. They tried to alter the outcome to make a benefit for Joe Biden. They actually suppressed this story for the benefit of Joe Biden. And so, folks, this is
Speaking of
Like,
Joe Biden, there's a image on Twitter going viral right now. So he had a speech tonight. There was a big speech he had planned tonight. This has been the image on Twitter on damn near every news story I'm looking at right now. And of course, they're not.
Holy God.
They're not putting him in a very good light. And again, apparently he called, which we'll get into here in a minute, Trump voters, you know, I don't know if he called them fascist tonight, but
there we go. Now I found I found the definition finally, but verb
scary.
Manage or conduct something fraudulently so as to produce a result or situation that is advantageous to a particular person. That is the Oxford Language Dictionary definition of rig. I'll say that again. So keep that in mind, that we had our intelligence agencies actually suppress information that the American voters needed to know about the Biden family. Rig, verb, manage or conduct something fraudulently so as to produce a result or situation that is advantageous to a particular person. Now I want you to keep that in mind as we go deeper into this this story here, folks.
Jump to the next one. We only got 30 minutes left. We got 3 left.
Damn you.
Bill.
Oopsies.
So there, at least finally found the fucking.
It's time.
God damn it, Tony.
All right,
I was just starting to like you.
Just get it out of the way, Phil.
We got folks. Jump on Twitter. Ilhan
Trump
Omar,
vodka.
Kevin McCarthy are going at it right now. There's all kinds of fun stuff to read. We'll see if it ever turns into any actual news.
It's like he's turning into Mr. Hyde as Dr. Jekyll.
Only happened for like 5 seconds.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
The most sour mood I'm going to be in all day. But yeah, so I want you to just keep that in mind, folks. And what they're going to do with this raid story is they're going to try and do the same thing in 2022 and 2024. They're going to manage or conduct something fraudulently so as to produce a result or situation that is advantageous to a particular person, or in this case, organization, the Democratic Party. Now, the fraudulent part about it is, like I described, the president doesn't actually have to disclose to anybody if he wants to declassify something. So, and also something to keep in mind.
Well, I was just going to say, Phil.
Okay.
I was going to say, well, I thought you were going to bring this one up, but you never did. But the Benito Mussolini definition of fascism.
I was going to get to that when we got to the Zuckerberg.
Oh, they're all going to line together and they're going to go fast. We only got 30 minutes. So would you care to give them another thought to keep in mind before we actually get into the stories and do what we're
Yes, this is something to keep before your mind, especially as we get into the Zuckerberg story. Because you've always heard private company. Well, now the private companies are starting to be poked by the government a little more than is appropriate. And I want you to keep in mind, Benito Mussolini had a very succinct definition for fascism. And it's one that I've noticed in our modern era, people seem to try to avoid. And he said, fascism is the merger of state and corporate power. I want you to keep that before your minds as we move through the rest of this evening, folks. Fascism is the merger of state and corporate power.
And with that said,
and on that note,
and all that in mind, let's get in to the biggest hard-hitting stories that are being talked about, but not in the way they should be, in my opinion. I think these are bigger and more important. FBI agent under fire for Hunter Biden whistleblower claim, says he resigned. Now, this is the FBI agent who was heading up the Hunter Biden laptop investigation, who apparently
he's doing such a bang-up job.
Well, he apparently just was not pushing anything. Had made some tweets that were very anti-Trump prior to the 2020 election, and then come 2020 election, while he's got possession of a laptop, says, guys, this is Russian disinformation. We shouldn't be talking about this. Knowing full well the laptop was real, knowing the New York Post was going to post about the laptop, this specific person just ignored everything. He was escorted out of the building on his last day. We don't have to read through all the story. This is easily findable news. Just look up FBI Biden laptop resignation. You'll get this guy popped up on here and read through the whole story. But yeah, this guy like literally just sat on his hands for the last fucking 2.5 years with the Hunter Biden laptop. And now that it's like fucking widespread and everybody's admitting it, even Twitter, even Facebook, and Phil alluded to Zuckerberg coming out and saying, well, you know, I kind of got told not to fucking not allow this fucking story to come out, which Zuckerberg lied, by the way. I want to make sure I mention that.
Well, I mean, you know, the best way to know when Zuckerberg is lying, don't you, chicken? He's got a pretty easy tell.
When he's drinking his water?
No, when his mouth's moving. Like that. It's a real easy tell. Whenever them fucking lips are flapping, he's lying.
You mean the exhaust port?
Yeah, yes.
Is this how it looks when I drink?
Yes.
Initiating normal human behavior 3. Drink the water.
I'll give Rogan credit. He did give him shit about that. So
he did. That was the best part. That was the best part.
Yeah. Otherwise, that
now to be fair,
it was boring.
How the fuck natural are y'all gonna be if like because Zuckerberg's just some fucking nerd who fucking fell into a lot of money and I was like, wait, I have to go before Congress and like, oh, we can clearly see by how often this show has been in Facebook jail and how much all of us have been in Facebook jail that like after that congressional hearing, he freaked the fuck out. He way overcorrected. I don't ever want to be in front of the Congress again. I'll do all the restrictions you want. Please just let me go. Like, yeah,
you sound like a Russian troll right now.
No, I sound like fucking Mark Zuckerberg 3 seconds after he got down from that congressional hearing chair.
I could not find I'm gonna try again real quick now that I'm on my laptop because I was trying to do it on my phone before, but I guess these two kind of go hand in hand. We can talk about both stories at the same time. So you have the FBI whistleblower that called out the FBI agent who then abruptly resigned and then was escorted out of the building. But then Mark Zuckerberg goes on to Joe Rogan and explains what we just mentioned. FBI told him, hey, there's some misinformation coming your way. You might want to block it before the election. Winky. It was
face. Fact checked and everything.
Hint. Benito Mussolini reference that we just talked about.
Yes, the merger of state and corporate power when the White House now and the government, the FBI now tells a private company, because you've heard it for years, Twitter's a private company, Facebook's a private company, they can do whatever they want. When they become an arm of the state and are openly enforcing state edicts and openly enforcing the state's narrative, they are now a state actor, whether they want to admit it or not. So they have now crossed the Rubicon into what can undoubtedly, you cannot deny that it fits the exact definition that I just gave you a few short minutes ago of the merger of state and corporate power.
Well, one thing I wanted to bring up on here, but Facebook's kind of wiped the evidence of this away. But Zuckerberg, Tony, you watched the interview, right?
Yep.
He said they were not kicking people off for sharing the post. You could share it. They were just downranking it, right?
That was probably the most fascinating portion of the entire interview when Joe Rogan flat out asked him, is shadow banning a real thing? And he's like, well, we don't call it that. There's no actual policy that says shadow banning. But like if people are a repeat offender, you know, then they are less promoted in the algorithm and the search results. And yeah, but it totally depends on the context and if they're a repeat offender. And he essentially 150% confirmed that yes, shadow banning fucking exists. We just don't call it that because it sounds scary.
Shadow banning aside, he flat out said, we did not ban the story. We allowed it to be shared. He said that, right?
And Joe Rogan countered, but not as many people got to see it. Right.
Sure.
But
hold on.
But.
This is the only evidence I have to show. I remember being banned on Facebook for sharing the Hunter Biden laptop story from the New York Post.
Which is
So,
specifically
here's my
what
evidence.
they talked about.
Here's the only way I can prove this, because I think I have screenshots somewhere, but I can't fucking find them right now. This is the best I can do for you because Facebook covered their tracks pretty well. So Wikipedia, when you look up Hunter Biden laptop, so the public New York Post published the article on October 14th, 2020. Okay. When I go into my Facebook account and I look at every time I've gotten in trouble with my alerts, the only one from 2020 that's still on there. Well, I guess there's another one, but that was a nudity one. I can't remember what for. But guess what? Date that shows. I violated community standards on October 14th, 2020.
How strange.
That almost seems like it might be
I remember
related.
that one. I remember that one quite well.
Remember
That was
one?
That was a good one.
God, yes. That was like that moment was I was like, well, the fix is in, guys. It's an old boxing term for those who don't know, but it's like, yep. Yeah. Yeah, let's get that off. So
yeah.
Let's get your browsing history off.
Yeah.
All my strikes.
Yeah.
Tentacle what? Like, oh, chicken. No. Like we suddenly have live on air like a TED 2. So you're like, good God, there's so much porn. Like, no, we got to destroy it right now. We're taking it to the bottom of some lake and
that alert
no, we're
list
throwing
used
it
to
off
be,
Mount Rushmore.
That alert list used to be a lot longer.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. So yeah, so Zuckerberg, the fucking nerd
lied.
tactician, he fucking lied and then he just fucking made a horrible admission. And because we here at Big Buckin' Empire, we were part of that fucking campaign of silencing right before the election. Coincidentally, so like what a coinkydink that right before the election, all of these ban hammers started coming down on people that would be just beyond the election. Wasn't that a coinkydink?
It wasn't even that.
What impact do you think that might have had on people's votes, like on the election?
No, chicken. To even imply such a thing is like basically you hate puppies and grandma. If you even imply such a thing,
study and 7% of voters would have changed their vote.
Let's call a spade here, folks. The actual Facebook suppression actually began much, much earlier than that. And it was actually in the spring of 2020. And look, I'm not going to split hairs here at this point because I think it's completely and utterly fair to do so now. Right at the height of our popularity, when we started getting big on this fucking platform, Facebook, with the Big Buckin' Empire and the Dog and Chicken Show doing live streams on Facebook, that is when we got silenced because of misinformation due to COVID, that now even the CDC says we were correct all along.
Hey, guess what?
Video game.
Guys, also YouTube updated their shit. We can mass debate and we can say masks don't work now.
Okay. Wow. All right. Wow. We can actually speak freely, barely about this one topic again. Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Now, like
great day in YouTube.
Now, this is something I got to say, and this is going to piss off a lot of people. And this is going to make some people really happy. Hey, everybody who didn't give in to the social pressure and didn't get a vaccine, you won. You won completely, entirely, absolutely. All the restrictions are lifted. All the stigma's gone. All of that shit's gone now. You actually won.
Unless you live in Washington, D.C., Berkeley, or a couple other places in the country. But yeah, overall, you won.
I was about to say, like,
did you hear Washington D.C.
The petty tyrants are going to try to hold on. Like, what's so funny is they don't
Washington D.C.
let go of their power.
Washington D.C. kicked unvaccinated kids out of public school. I don't even know if that's. I don't know if that's legal. I don't know if they can do that.
No, but it'll take so long for the courts to decide. What does it matter?
Well, like, what are the punitive damages long term for the government?
Oh, they'll have to pay out long term, but it's more important to be able to do these big shows of force to try and push back. But like, there's nobody that wants. Like, you'll notice that the only places that are going to do any such procedures aren't even in the universe of a swing district.
But but you know, it's Trump voters that are bad guys here.
Okay, now
should we get
Chicken?
into that one? This is going to take the last 15 minutes of the show for sure.
All right, so we're going to
Easily.
get into the last story here for a second.
We can run with this.
Hysterical Biden demonizes millions of Republican voters as semi-fascist, borderline terrorist, and a threat to democracy, which he repeated again tonight, by the way, on his speech, from what I understand and what I've been reading, to scare his own voters to the ballot box. So who is the real fascist? Asked Christian Witten, whatever. We just talked about that. We literally kicking kids out of schools for not taking a shot, which has been deemed dangerous in Europe. Europe has literally said that it can be harmful.
A few brands have, yes. Like I'm trying to be as exact as I can because we're still not out of the fucking woods yet. Like,
I'm repeating things that I've heard others say that I know got away with it. Yeah,
but like now this is.
I'm trying to tip my toe on that line as much as
you want to talk about dangerous language, because let's be frank, if you're someone that doesn't want violence, this is not the kind of thing you say. Because let's be frank, if you were remember when I said if Biden is elected, Republicans will be hunted?
Yes.
If you were to listen to the rhetoric that your average Democrat politician says, and you truly believed it, now keep that in mind. If you truly believed it, you didn't recognize it for the hyperbole and the hysterics and the attempt to whip you up into a fear frenzy. If you didn't recognize it as that, if you didn't recognize it as propaganda, and you truly believed it, it's why, I think Sam Harris, when you look at him, he's a victim of the news.
Yes.
Our problem isn't what the news reports. Our problem is the news.
Is the people.
Our problem is the fact, and the problem is the people in power like this. And this is a really unfortunate reality. And I do not like this. But if you were somebody that was a Democrat, you truly believe this, why wouldn't you wish violence upon Republicans? Why wouldn't you? If you truly believe this, this is such hysterical rhetoric. Now, whoa.
I have the president of the United States.
He stumbled in.
The occupant of the White House,
Pennsylvania Avenue. Yeah, that's a bit better.
He's ready to explain himself to us on what he really meant here. So, without further ado, folks. The president of the United States, Joe Biden. How are you tonight, sir?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Americans, and even my favorite people, everybody who's, come into the country after and before I was elected. How are we all doing tonight?
Good. Not sure where you're going with that.
Just off to a great start, Joe. All right, you managed to offend a good 20% of the country right off the bat. Well done.
Those are the fascists. Those are the ones we're talking about, the MAGA people that, they just can't get with it. They know we've been telling them for 2 years.
Oh, that's a little bit more. That's like 40-50%.
And they just didn't bring a hammer.
Okay. Like a hammer and sickle, or...
I mean, whatever tool you got to use to get the job done there, Rooster. Whatever you got to use. Sometimes you got to use a flathead. Sometimes it's a torque head. Sometimes you get mad, you got to use a torch. It is what it is.
Gotcha.
Excuse me.
So, Mr. President, can you define fascism for me real quick? Since you did demonize half of the country as semi-fascist. I don't know what semi-fascist means, but I think we need to start with the word fascism.
Is that semi-hard, which is as much as Joe's able to achieve at the moment, or?
What are you looking for?
What do you mean by semi-fascist? What if you're calling me a semi-fascist? Right. I want to know what I did wrong to become a semi-fascist. What do you think I did?
It was always the Monday mornings. It never seemed to happen on Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, or any other morning during the week. But it happened every Monday morning, like clockwork.
What happened, Joe?
Say again.
What happened Monday morning?
The desert wind blew the tumbleweed in front of the car. Alex swerved to avoid the tumbleweed, but he turned the wheel bit too strong. Car left the road, skidded onto the dirt median. He slammed on his brakes, and the car stopped in a cloud of dirt. But when that dust cloud had settled and he could see around him again, he realized he'd somehow crossed over to an entirely new dimension.
Are these lyrics from a song, or are you reading a book?
Excuse me, there, Rooster. Are you questioning?
I was about to say, it's
leadership?
like these words are like coming to him like smooth jazz, like dooba dabba dooba dabba dooba. Like it's like he's kind of like scat singing at the moment.
That's what I do. I sign executive orders and I get things done.
Now, Mr. President, what happens every Monday morning, that's a semi-hard-on. That's not semi-fascism. Okay?
Oh, no, we're fully erect here in Pennsylvania Avenue there, KOE. I tell you what, look, the other 49 states, not just the one you got behind you. Look, I'm telling you right now, things are getting done. Everything's hunky-dory here. The people that are going to be trifling against us, treasonous acts, even like contemplating having thoughts against us, they'll be dealt with soon enough.
Oh, thoughts? Like a thought crime? Like we can't agree. If we can't agree with you, you're going to come after us?
I said what I said. If you can't get on board with the Build Back Better, then you probably don't need to have the free will to think. I mean, is that really so wrong to say?
Well, yeah, it is. But
yeah.
Look, no,
kind of a lot.
Listen. No, you listen right here. Sarah watched the whirlpool mesmerized. She couldn't take her eyes off the water swirling around and around. She stuck in 2 small twigs and left them to watch the whirlpool catch them and stuck them down.
What?
Is that Soundgarden lyrics?
Look, he had 3 simple rules which he lived. All right. The first was to never eat blue food. There was nothing in nature that was edible that was blue. All right. That's fact. People often ask about blueberries, but everybody knows those are actually purple. All right. That's fact. He understood it was one of the stranger rules to live by, but it served him well thus far in the 50 years of his life.
Oh my God. He's literally just reading shit off.
I was about to say, like, Joe.
Do you not have a teleprompter today? Who's your speechwriter today?
What?
Joe, where's your wife? I think she left you alone too long. There's nobody.
She didn't give him enough. She's the love of my life. Give him enough Adderall to get through the speech. Now I must say, Joe,
do you have your Obama earpiece in to where he can talk to you directly right now? Because you need it.
What's that, Barry? Sorry. Rooster, can you say that again?
I was just making sure you still had Obama in your ear because
is there anybody else?
Got to call 911
he came before me. I know I'm a senior to his reign of terror, but look, he came before me, and who better to take advice from? And it's just nice to know that there are still. Who's that handsome devil?
Well, that's you, Joe. If they, winky face. If they this is actor Arthur Roberts. Boy, he's a striking image to Joe Biden, almost like he'd make a perfect double. Am I talking to Joe or Arthur?
I don't know what you're getting at, but sometimes what you're saying, it just doesn't make sense. Look, the man walking down the street in the banana suit, the llama was standing in the middle of the road, and the fairy's dancing in front of the car window. Look, the fact that all this was actually happening, it wasn't even a dream.
Or that's surely either are we like reading Blind Melon lyrics now? Like I feel like so Joe like must think it's still 1997 or something. Like no Joe, you're actually the president. It's 2022, or at least allegedly.
I'm just glad you're ready to finally admit that, KOE. You've been putting it off like I'm not for months, for years.
Okay. Even. You occupy the White House. I'll give you that.
You called it. You can't takes it backsies now.
Takesy backsies from you.
No
Joe.
Takesy backsies.
You no good. Like no, I'm takesy backsying just like you say to all the girls you shower with, and now everything that happened in there, it's all takesy backsies,
including your daughter.
Okay, all that beside the point. Have you ever wondered about toes? Like, why 10 toes? Why not 12? Why are some bigger than the
How
others?
many do you normally fit in your mouth, Joe?
That's what I'm saying. Like some people can use their toes to pick up things. Some of them can barely even move them on command. It's like some toes, they're nice to look at, while others are just definitely not something you want to look at. Toes can be stubbed. They can make us scream. Toes help us balance and walk. 10 toes, it's just something to ponder, you know?
So, Joe, a couple of things I wanted to personally say to you, if we can kind of,
I wish you would.
If we can get back on track, because man to man, I want you to as an American, you're supposed to be my leader, right?
No better.
Well, that's debatable.
Look at me in my cold dead eyes and say that.
You're not a good leader.
The audacity.
He's not even the leader of his own lunch schedule.
I walked into your coop. You know what? Those hens have no respect for you, Rooster. They don't. They might put on a happy face, but they don't.
Anyway, when you use rhetoric that you don't understand, and then you
look.
Wait, Joe, let me finish. All due respect, Mr. President, you called half of the country fascists or semi-fascist when you have literally been the fascist all along.
All right, I'm just going to stop you right there, Jack. Look, if we're going to go here and we're going to stick to definitions that were labeled in thesauruses and dictionaries, and you're not going to allow us to evolve and adjust with the times, it's 2022.
So are you going to evolve backwards?
We're building back better. If you can't take 2 steps backwards, how are you ever going to take 1 step forward?
I mean, I'm sorry, Chicken. Things like inflation, recession, none of that, fascist, none of that really matters.
Yeah.
Well, Joe,
I've been known to throw down a time or two in my day.
Joe, one of the possible semi-fascists out in the country want to know if you'll do a shot.
I'm down to earth, just like all of you. I'm relatable.
You're about 6 feet in the dirt, but yeah.
Or 6 feet above. Recognize.
Now, what's funny, Joe, you were saying that people would need an F-15 to fight the government. First of all, you fucking weird psycho, you're wanting to sick the military on the entire fucking.
I'm just being honest here, KOE. Something that you wouldn't know anything about, Fat. Look, if you're going to attack the government as somebody sitting there with your assault rifle 22 caliber Winchester, you're going to need more than that. You don't have a howitzer, okay? You don't have a F-15. You don't have an organized community watch that's going to storm the gates of Pennsylvania Avenue.
You just waved the white flag and admitted defeat to 10,000 shoeless goat herders with rusty Kalashnikov rifles on the other side of the fucking planet. So what do you think
you're going to see in terms of a flag is the white hair on my nutsack when I teabag you after I've taken you down there, KOE.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about you, Joe. You couldn't even fucking you had to fucking surrender to fucking shoeless goat herders with rusty Kalashnikov rifles. So you've apparently never heard of the Taliban. You've never heard of the IRA.
Well, I've heard of
You've never heard of the Viet Cong. You've never heard there's several examples of basically it goes bad for in governments trying to hold insurgent populations.
So if I need an F-15 to fight against the government, Joe, I'm curious, what's the interest rate on purchasing an F-15 right now?
Look,
asking for a friend. Asking for a friend.
I understand. Look, the important thing is that you're buying American. A Ford F-150 is as American as it gets. I'm just glad to see that you're not buying Toyotas or that digital January 6th insurrectionist Elon Musk and his Tesla squad. It's nice to see you're buying you could even buy an F-250 or an F-350.
No, I said an F-15.
I said what I said. Aftermarket accessories are not my forte. I'm just saying, I'm glad you're buying American.
So without giving anything away, I know you had a big speech tonight, Mr. President.
Best one ever.
Is there anything
You
you
saw
forgot?
me? I looked like a goddamn dictator out there, didn't I?
You
liked
did,
that.
yeah. The red background with
Feel
the
my
security
nose on the
guards behind,
microphone.
like it was kind of a surreal moment. I'll go back and watch it. Is there anything you forgot to mention to the American people in that speech you want to make sure everybody hears tonight?
Is there anything I forgot to say? Rooster, I forgot everything I already said. You're asking a lot of old Joe here, I'll be frank. But yeah, there is probably something I did forget to mention. And, I do this a lot, and it's unfortunate. But the important thing you got to remember, folks, we are coming. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or not. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but there is something important kind of knocking on the door a little bit here. It's coming down the pike, if you know what I'm saying. It's a baby stepping up behind you. It's so close you could almost.
You're going to release the Epstein documents?
Yeah, we're going to find out who was on the Lolita Express.
Look, we got too many megabytes tied up in all those top secret documents of Trump's. Right, we don't have the storage capacity for that kind of stuff. Look, this stuff's creeping up on us so close you can almost sniff it. All right, so what I'm talking about are the midterms. All right, and I don't know if you guys know what those are, but there's a lot of it's not just Uncle Joe here that's up on the chopping block. And I've been doing such a bang-up job, I'd win anyway. Most popular president ever, 80 billion votes, if I do remember correctly.
80 billion?
But some of my friends, family, loved ones, biggest contributors, puppets, they're also out there. They're campaigning. You got to remember to vote blue, folks. Straight blue ticket down the line. And if you can't do that, it's because you're a fascist and you're a registered Republican. So you need to go down. You need to go to the courthouse. You need to switch blue, register as a Democrat, go to the primary. You vote your straight Democrat ticket. And then come election day in November, straight blue ticket. That thin blue line you fucking fascists are always talking about back in the blue. We're talking about the Democrats. We're talking about me.
Wow. Now, I think, Joe, they should do what that other much more wiser Joe Rogan said they should do. Vote Republican.
Oh,
or better yet, there, KOE, do what another great
No,
Joe
don't
said.
sniff anybody's hair.
Another great Joe cartoon says, you don't got the balls.
Yeah, I think I do, to vote Republican, because you've done such a shit job in your shit economy with your shit prices and your shit recession and your shit inflation.
I double dog dare you.
Listen
I
here,
will.
Jack. We need to do a push-up
Now,
contest.
Joe, double dog daring somebody to vote doesn't mean they vote twice.
That's true.
No, we know it means 4 times. But look, your math's off. Common Core math, all right?
All right, Joe.
Count and balance of the Common Core math.
Joe, we're reaching top of the hour, end of the show. I'm gonna give you one final word before we tell you to go fuck off.
That's fair.
Is that it?
What? Oh, what'd you want from me?
All right, fuck off, Joe. All right, the president of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden.
Allegedly.
Wish him well, and hopefully he doesn't die, so we don't have to deal with the next in line anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, Kamala Harris is kind of impeachment insurance for Joe, but at the same time, fuck him. He's getting impeached next year. It's happening. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler alert. Even like, I'm going to just go ahead and say the Republicans taking. Hey, Tony, you missed him again.
Yeah, totally missed Joe.
I'm sorry, my kid's interrupted. What'd I miss?
Like it's like He-Man and Adam. Like it's just you always just miss him by that much, T. But anyways, yeah. Like
let's
the Republicans
give final
taking
thoughts.
the House.
2 hours in, folks. Subscribers, you get drink.
I think really Tony wants to take 4 shots. That's what really wants to happen here, folks.
No.
But no, what's going to happen here in the future with the Republican primary, or the primary is already done, but the Republicans are taking the House. It's just there's no way that's not going to happen. If you take all the races and even you give all the swing districts in the House to the Democrats, the Republicans still take the House just by like 10 or 15 votes. I think that means you have to take a shot, Tony.
All right.
Shot.
I gotta get Tony a little drunk before we make our picks for RWP tonight, so I can hold on to my belt. Gotta get him drunk. Bitch.
Well, it's
I already got my
Rogan said-
picks.
I'll change your
think
mind.
about it. If you're in one of those states where like Whitmer shut your business down gleefully because of COVID restrictions, pick a number between 2. Tony, pick a number between 1 and 5. That's not
4.
1 and 2. 4. Okay. All righty. Let's now pick a number. But yeah, like, oh, Brendan, people are going to vote red because they haven't. No, because they're gonna stick it to the fucking Democrats in a beautiful way. Sorry, Tony, you win. Oh, so Tony gets to take another shot on top of that.
Fuck you guys.
Sorry, dude.
Jesus.
I didn't know you were gonna get hosed on that one. That was kind of random.
So Tony's taking a shot for. Oh, he's taking a beer and a shot.
No, I'm gonna do 2 shots, but I'm gonna pour it in this.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Shot. Everybody. So, but no, like the Republicans are taking the House. Biden is going to get impeached. They're already getting articles of impeachment ready. They already know which way they're going to go. They're not going to overdo it. They're going to drag it out just like they did with Trump. So, fuck it. Tony, what are you drinking?
Well, it's we're 2 hours in, so I'm just gonna do butter shots because fuck this. Oh my god. Yeah.
All righty. Well, shoot it down, T.
Oh, now you didn't have more you wanted to say?
Yeah, as you're going through, and Tony, you can give your drink or whatever you want out.
Phil gin.
All right, Phil, you can go ahead and prepare your gin. As you guys are getting ready to do your drinks, I think we can start wrapping up our thoughts. We'll finish up our drinks and get the fuck out of here. And then you can join us on Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast right after this show. Might be about a 10-15 minute period in between because we probably got to pee. And
30 seconds is all you get. No, I'm kidding.
Fuck you. I gotta pee and smoke. So anyway, all the rhetoric you're seeing, all the shit we showed you tonight, all the stuff we talked about, it all aligns to where it's this weird, the government is projecting themselves onto you. Like what they're doing, they are calling you the same thing that they're doing. It's so weird.
Rules for radicals. Saul Alinsky, accuse your opponents of what you're doing.
But it's so obvious right now. It's more obvious in my entire adult life now than it's ever been. Like at least before there was a little cloak and dagger behind it and be like, oh no. Like Obama was a little bit smoother with it. Like he did the same shit, but he tried to talk around it. He was elegant with his words so he could make you feel better about it. But Joe Biden's too fucking he's too far out there. This dude,
it's not even about that. They don't care.
Oh no, his okay. I'm gonna say it. This is gonna be the most offensive thing I've ever said on this show. I think I've said it to you guys in private chat. Okay, strap in, folks. Jen Blackie, which is Jean Pierre, whatever their current lady. That's she is the diversity.
I wouldn't go with that in the future.
She's the diversity hire for the state propaganda arm, and she sucks at her job. She is dumber than a box of rocks. And like tonight, they're like, "Is Joe Biden gonna say more stuff about semi-fascist?" And she's like, "No, it's gonna be an uplifting message." And then we see all over Twitter, Joe Biden shit on fucking everybody who didn't vote for him again. This is the president that told you he was going to not unite, which we all knew. Every president does this. They give these speeches. They tell you what they're going to do. They never fulfill anything. And it's just rhetoric. We are at the brink. There's more news articles today than there has been in 150 years talking about the possibility of civil war. We are literally on the brink of some states wanting to What's the deal when 30 some states come together and do the articles of confederation or whatever it is, like where they or ratification?
You're right.
Where they can go through the Constitution and start chopping shit out and adding shit in. We are this close. We're 3 or 4 states away. There's some states that talk about secession. This is a serious time. As the president of the fucking United States, if you are the uniter that you think you are, if you're a 40-year fucking politician who's done nothing but drag black people into fucking jail for shitty fucking non-violent gun crimes and then try to be doing these diversity hires, you're nothing but a fucking hypocrite. You're a cunt. You don't deserve the office. You suck at everything you do. Shadow ban probably again. I'm so fucking, I don't care if I have to vote for Donald Trump to get Joe Biden out of there. I'm not green pilled on fucking white pilled or fucking any pill on goddamn Donald Trump. But if it gets this stupid old cunt out of the office, I'm in. I don't care what it's going to take. Joe Biden's got to go. This guy is destroying much more than he's helping. The media destroys much more than what. But I don't think Donald Trump destroyed the country. I think the media and the Democrats destroyed much of the public opinion.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's not even, our problem isn't even how the news is reported. Our problem is just the news.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the news, the apparatus.
And the words that come out of Joe.
30 states out of 50, and we're only a few away. But if you actually listen to the news, you would have to believe the complete opposite is true, that Texas is turning blue, that we're never more united except for all the awful police officers, except for, the feds. They're great. Joe Biden's approval ratings through the fucking roof. The Republicans are basically Nazis and white supremacists, and we've never been more united, and everything's hunky-dory. Meanwhile, it's ripping itself apart at the seams.
Even Bill Maher gets it. Even Bill Maher. Yeah. He the other night he gave the example of like he brought up the trans thing and he did it in a very elegant way of like, okay, so every year the acceptability or people that come out as gay, trans or LGBT is doubled every generation. And he's like, so by 2050 we're all going to be gay. Okay, so that's the trajectory that we're going at this point, because 20% of Generation Z are some kind of LGBTQ. He goes, okay,
and that's fine.
He's like, he goes, one, it's a great thing that we live in a world where people are accepting enough to be able to come out and talk about it and be okay with it. I agree with that. Yeah, like fuck yeah. If 20%'s the number, if it's 50%, fucking whatever the number is, I don't care. But the way it's going, you start to look at now it's regional. It's not like a percentage across the country. This is a regional percentage. This is a regional issue. This is liberal city issues when it comes to the trans issue. And it's always upper class white people that have kids that are trans. Half of the people that are on Twitch are upper class white kids that were trans, or maybe they were from another community, but most of them are upper class white kids that identify as trans that want to get their fucking way. And you know what? Everything exactly that, and that's honestly that's perfect timing. The I can't quit you thing. That's what the media does to them. There's never been a person that's gone up to this group of people that think they need this unending attention is I can't quit you. These people need to be told that one, it's not all about you. Okay? It's not all about
whoa. I mean, we're talking about the myopic iPad TikTok generation. Okay? That there is nothing in the universe but them.
Yeah.
At least in their
so anyway, you can if you just do a Bill Maher trans segment, look that up, watch that video. It was actually pretty epic. He did a really good job of breaking it down pretty well. I probably butchered the shit out of it, but the biggest part that came out of it was it's not about you.
Okay. Well, that was beautiful.
That was gorgeous. Now, right. Like really all I want to say about this all,
well,
folks,
we got to do something first there, buddy boy.
What's that? Oh, God
Remember?
Damn it.
I'm sitting on this fucking double shot, so Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not. Tony Double and Phil. This is Gen 5.
God damn it. It is.
Cheers.
Feeling a little loosened up.
Mm.
Bottoms up.
Oof. That's sweet. Pretty delicious. Pretty delicious.
Fuck you.
Not bad. Not bad.
Berries and cream. Berries and cream.
All right.
That's terrible.
Now go ahead, Phil. Now go ahead.
All right, let's wrap this bitch up. What are
I was about to say, like, I'm going to find out that, like, turns out gin, like, lowers your cholesterol or some shit. Like, we're going to find out, like, in years to come, like, it's the thing that kept me from having a heart attack in my 60s, or I don't know. But actually, not to be construed as actual medical advice, because it's highly illegal to even imply there's any medical use of alcohol. But, anywho, I will say, folks, that we are now in that day where state and corporate power have fully merged before our eyes. And what's fascinating is the left cheerleaded it. The left spearheaded it. And I never thought I would live to see the day where the left fully admitted that they were meant to be bent to the will of a corporate entity. And they love it. They love every second of it until the shoe's going to be on the other foot. But when that happens, it's going to be too late. But unfortunately, folks, you know, you can find me at KW Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. You can find me at all the amazing places. And you can find me at Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast here in a very short little while. But as I'm known to say around here and in all the other places and all this God's beautiful creation, all that being said, folks, I am your king of extreme, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. And unfortunately, I only leave you with this note. We all live in a fascist regime, a fascist regime, a fascist regime. We all live in a fascist regime, a fascist regime. Now, Tony J, take it here, good sir, man.
All right, this has been episode 153, if you can actually fucking believe it, of the Dog and Chicken Show. We'll see if we come back next week for episode 154.
50-50.
After it's 50-50.
Was it me?
No,
it wasn't me. She caught me red-handed, banging on the bathroom floor.
Nope, it was that. It was that right there. Phil trying to
totally
sing.
Actually, yeah, me singing that one fairly popular 90s song.
You can find me on TikTok, Tony the Rod 2.0. You can find me here, obviously, Linktree/Big Buckin' and all the Big Buckin' Empire, the Dog and Chicken Show, and of course at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Actually, here in a few short, few minutes. So check us out there. Yeah, that's it for me. Chicken, finish it.
I've said my piece. I think I've said enough to get us banned on here for a while.
True.
Big Buckin' Empire. Subscribe while you still can.
Yeah, subscribe while you still can. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for having us drink. As always, we'll see you all next week. I'm not sure what post show, if we do anything tonight. We're gonna do another show right after this.
We're going to Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Keep the party going there, folks.
Yep. So we're going to talk about wrestling, and then if we do a post show after that, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But we'll see you guys on the other side. As always, appreciate you. Love you. Bye. And see if it just smooths itself out.
Get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard